What if the cars we've trusted for years are quietly disappearing, and no one's warning the drivers who still depend on them? Some of the most reliable models, the ones that earned loyalty and outlasted trends, are suddenly being replaced by oversized SUVs and electric experiments chasing profit over simple engineering. In this video, we're counting down 15 proven car models vanishing fast, and why finding one now might be your last chance to own something built to last. Stay tuned. A few of these names will shock you. Number 15. Nissan Maxima. For over 4 decades, the Maxima was Nissan's flagship sedan, a sleeper luxury car without the badge. Back in the mid-1990s, US sales topped 130,000 units a year. By 2022, they'd fallen to just over 7,000, a drop of nearly 95%. The reason wasn't reliability. The final 2023 model still packed a 300 horsepower V6 and ranked among the most dependable sedans in its class. But Nissan's Ambition 2030 plan shifted focus to electrification and SUVs, leaving the Maxima and the buyers who loved it behind. It didn't fail, it was retired. And for anyone who still wants a big, confident four-door, a used Maxima might be your last chance to own a car built for power, comfort, and quiet longevity. Number 14. Subaru Legacy. When it debuted in 1989, the Subaru Legacy offered something few sedans did: standard all-wheel drive and a reputation for reliability that owners swore by. At its peak in 2016, US sales topped 65,000 units, proving there was still a market for a practical all-weather four-door. But by 2023, that number had slipped to just over 20,000, and Subaru made it official. Production will end after the 2025 model year. The reason? The same one ending sedans everywhere: buyers shifting to SUVs and electric vehicles. Subaru's own electrified future plan calls for 8 fully electric models by 2028, leaving little room for a mid-size gas sedan. It's bittersweet because the Legacy did everything right: safe, dependable, and known for resale values that rivaled Toyota. But sometimes being good isn't enough when the market moves on. If you buy one now, you're not just getting a reliable commuter. You're owning the final chapter of a nameplate that helped define Subaru's identity in North America. Number 13. Mitsubishi Mirage. The Mirage was the ultimate under 20 grand commuter. It filled a niche. However, despite that niche, the car couldn't survive the broader strategic shifts. Mitsubishi America confirmed no 2025 model in the US, with production ending in late 2024. So what exactly happened? Well, several things. Small car margins are tight. Entry-level sedans and hatchbacks simply earn less for the brand. Buyers are flocking toward crossovers, and for a company like Mitsubishi Motors Corporation, aligning cost, profit, and scale became harder. For owners and enthusiasts, this is bittersweet. The Mirage may not have had the premium features of competitors, but it met a practical need, and often did so reliably. Its departure also signals something bigger. Fewer ultra-budget new cars will exist in the US market. If you're shopping one now, know you're getting a dependable piece of entry-level transportation, but with awareness that future choices for parts, support, and resale might shift in the next few years. Number 12. Chevrolet Malibu. If you grew up seeing a dependable midsize sedan in the driveway, chances are the Malibu was in that rotation. Introduced in the 1960s and refined across 9 generations, the Malibu chalked up more than 10 million units worldwide. But in November of 2024, General Motors announced that production would cease at its Fairfax, Kansas assembly plant. This announcement set a clear marker that the era of traditional mid-size sedans at GM is over. Why did it happen? 2 big forces. First, the US buyer's appetite shifted hard toward SUVs and crossovers. Second, GM decided that the site of the Malibu's production would instead be used for its next-generation electric car, the Chevrolet Bolt EV, on the Ultium platform. So if you're looking at a late-model Malibu, you're picking up something that combines legacy and reliability with a limited future. Parts, resale, and servicing may shift faster than you expect. Number 11. Hyundai Accent. The Accent has been the go-to commuter car for drivers who just wanted something reliable, efficient, and affordable. But in mid-2022, Hyundai announced the US model would be discontinued after the 2022 model year, with no 2023 sedan arriving stateside. So why did it go? A couple of major reasons. Buyer tastes shifted heavily to crossovers, and Hyundai decided the entry-level spot would be handled by the Venue crossover instead of a subcompact sedan. What that means for someone looking at one today. If you get a late model accent, you're getting something that checks the reliability box, but you're also locking into a model that has no direct future in the US lineup. It's the end of the line for that clean, basic sedan solution. Number 10. Kia Rio. The Rio carried on the tradition of simple, dependable subcompact cars. Lightweight, easy to park, minimal fuss. But in the US, its story ended with the 2023 model year. Why? Again, it comes down to strategy. As buyers gravitated toward larger vehicles and SUVs, Kia decided to retire the Rio and funnel resources into higher margin vehicles and a shifting naming structure. For instance, the K3 model emerging in some markets. So for you or a client weighing used options, a last year Rio can be a smart play. Solid reliability and budget friendly. But go in knowing the nameplate is done, which means future parts, resale, or model-specific support may shift as the brand moves on. Number 9. Buick Encore. Unlike the other cars on this list, the Buick Encore wasn't just a bare-bones commuter car. It was a smaller premium crossover under the Buick badge, known for its upmarket touches and reliability. But even it didn't escape lineup pruning. According to multiple sources, the original Encore was discontinued in the US after the 2022 model year. Why? Simplification and brand direction. Buick shifted focus to a slightly larger Encore GX and Invista models, staying aligned with the growing SUV crossover appetite. The Encore lived a solid life, but the company's architecture and marketing strategy left it behind. If you're looking at an Encore used, you're getting one of the last of the smaller Buick crossovers. Premium feel, good reliability track record, but also a model name that won't continue in that form, which means any future resale is a bit of a finite game. Number 8. Toyota Avalon. For over 2 decades, the Toyota Avalon was the quiet hero of the full-size sedan world. Smooth, silent, and effortlessly dependable. The Avalon was basically a Lexus wearing a Toyota badge. It was the sedan you bought if you wanted a Camry with a touch of grace and zero pretense. But by 2022, even Toyota couldn't justify keeping it alive. Demand for big sedans had fallen off a cliff, and buyers were chasing crossovers like the RAV4 instead. The Avalon's final model rolled off the Kentucky assembly line that year, marking the end of an era for one of Toyota's most well-built cars. It wasn't killed because it failed. Far from it. The Avalon consistently scored high on reliability and owner satisfaction. The problem was simple. The world changed. Toyota needed space for new hybrids and EVs, and that space came in the form of the Toyota Crown, the Avalon's spiritual successor. Number 7. Acura ILX. For years, the Acura ILX filled a very specific role. It was the affordable gateway into the Acura lineup, sporty, sleek, and backed by Honda's famously reliable engineering. It was the kind of car you could drive daily without ever worrying about a single thing. The ILX wasn't flashy, but it had that simple, proven formula that kept owners smiling past the 200,000-mile mark. Then Acura made a bold move. They scrapped it in 2022 and revived a legend, the Integra. The ILX, despite being dependable, had fallen behind in performance and tech compared to newer rivals. Acura wanted something that would reignite the spark from its 90s glory days, and the Integra nameplate had that nostalgic pull. Still, many longtime Acura fans weren't ready to let the ILX go. It was a car that represented everything great about old-school Honda engineering. Lightweight, efficient, mechanical perfection, wrapped in luxury light packaging. Number 6. Volkswagen Passat. The Volkswagen Passat had a long and respectable run in the US. Nearly 50 years of dependable German engineering and built for people who wanted a European sedan experience without the premium badge. The Passat was known for comfort, longevity, and that solid bank vault feel on the highway. But by 2022, VW decided it was time to pull the plug on the American Passat. The Tennessee plant that built it switched gears toward producing electric vehicles, marking the brand's future direction. VW didn't just end the Passat quietly either. It released a limited edition Chattanooga-built farewell model, honoring both the car's history and the workers who made it. For longtime owners, the Passat disappearance stings because it represents that rare blend of understated design and daily practicality. It was never showy, but it always delivered. Number 5. Ford Fusion. There was a time when the Ford Fusion was everywhere. From family driveways to rental car fleets, it became Ford's dependable mid-size workhorse. Introduced in the mid-2000s, it quickly gained a reputation for being one of the most balanced sedans you could buy. Affordable, smooth, and impressively reliable for its class. The Fusion was the rare American sedan that could stand toe-to-toe with the Camry and Accord. It had that confident stance, crisp handling, and later even offered hybrid and all-wheel drive options. Owners loved it for being the car that just worked. No drama, no surprises. Then in 2020, Ford did something drastic. They decided to stop building sedans altogether in North America. Every one of them, from the Fiesta to the Taurus, is gone. The Fusion was the last to go, a casualty of Ford's full shift toward SUVs and trucks. It's a strange twist of fate. The Fusion was still selling decently when it was axed, and its hybrid variant had proven especially reliable. But Ford wasn't chasing reliability anymore. They were chasing profit margins, and the sedan market just couldn't compete. Now, the Fusion sits in that bittersweet category of gone too soon. It wasn't flashy or revolutionary, but it earned its place in countless homes by doing what it did best, being a dependable, no-nonsense, everyday car. Number 4. Honda Fit. Few small cars have ever nailed practicality and reliability quite like the Honda Fit. This was a subcompact that punched way above its weight. Tiny on the outside, shockingly roomy inside, and almost unkillable under the hood. You could pack 4 adults, a bike, and half a dorm room in one thanks to its magic seat design. It was clever, efficient, and fun. The kind of car that reminded people why Honda engineering had a cult following. But in 2020, Honda decided the Fit's run in America was over. The automaker's attention had shifted to SUVs like the HR-V, and demand for small hatchbacks in the US had plummeted. That didn't mean the Fit was any less capable. It just didn't fit the new sales chart. Here's the thing though, the Fit never died. It's still sold in Japan and other markets, often with better engines and tech than the US ever got. Number 3. Lexus GS. When Lexus introduced the GS in the early 90s, it wasn't trying to be flashy. It was built for drivers who wanted quiet confidence, a luxury sedan with athletic bones and bulletproof dependability. For decades, it stayed true to that identity. Underneath, the GS shared a lot with Toyota's best: robust V6 engines, silky smooth transmissions, and reliability that embarrassed many European rivals. Yet, despite its loyal fan base, Lexus eventually pulled the plug after the 2020 model year. Why? The market had shifted hard toward crossovers like the RX and NX, and big sedans just weren't moving. Lexus decided to focus its luxury strategy elsewhere. The GS wasn't canceled because it was outdated, far from it. Its final generation was arguably its best, offering refined handling, impeccable build quality, and that classic Lexus serenity. For enthusiasts, the GS remains a symbol of what Lexus once did better than anyone: blend luxury and longevity. Number 2. Mazda 6. If there's one midsize sedan enthusiasts still mourn, it's the Mazda 6. This car was proof that reliability didn't have to mean boring. It was sleek, balanced, and full of character. A driver's car dressed up as a family sedan. The Mazda 6 stood out from the crowd because it offered genuine feedback behind the wheel. It wasn't just reliable, it was rewarding. Add to that Mazda's top-tier reliability record and stylish interior, and you had one of the most underrated sedans of the past decade. But in 2021, Mazda quietly announced the 6 was done in the US. The company wanted to reposition itself as a premium brand, with SUVs like the CX-50 and CX-90 leading the way. As SUVs became the norm, the sedan, no matter how good, just didn't fit the new image. Still, those who own a Mazda 6 know what they've got. It's a dependable, driver-focused gem that proves practicality and passion can coexist. Even now, used 6s are sought after for exactly that reason. They deliver style, precision, and durability long after others have faded. Number 1. Toyota Prius V and Prius C. Before Toyota hybrids became trendy, they were innovative. And among them, the Prius V and Prius C filled two very specific and very reliable niches. The Prius V was the wagon, spacious, family-friendly, and efficient enough to sip fuel for days. The Prius C was the compact urban warrior, perfect for city commuters who wanted Prius-level reliability in a smaller, cheaper package. Both were textbook examples of Toyota's engineering brilliance. Owners routinely racked up 250,000 miles with little more than basic maintenance. They were practical, frugal, and nearly indestructible. But between 2017 and 2019, Toyota made a big shift. It streamlined the Prius lineup, pushing buyers toward the RAV4 hybrid and newer Prius models. The company wanted fewer variants and a stronger focus on its next-generation hybrid and EV tech. So both the V and C quietly vanished. The Prius name lived on, but these two dependable workhorses faded into memory. Still, their legacy remains huge. They proved that efficiency and reliability could go hand in hand long before everyone else jumped on the hybrid bandwagon. Which of these cars is going to leave the biggest gap when it's totally gone? Let me know in the comments.